This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy!
Thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast. This is your host, Cat Bus Russ. I just want to make a little request to those who have been following the podcast for over the last couple of years. If you're doing it on the feed, that is 90forchill, all one word, .com, two separate words, the podcast. Please switch over and subscribe to the newest feed, which is 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ. This is just a way to make things more affordable, and I greatly appreciate your efforts, and on to the show.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
Thank you for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ. This is your host, Cat Bus Russ. You can get an idea what the next episode might be about if you'd like to follow me on Letterboxd. My username there is CMDarth. That's C as in cool, M as in movies, Darth as the Sith Lord. So, this week we're going to close out anime, which was kind of a pleasant little project of mine. I really wish I could have done something for all 4 weeks of the month. It just happened that, I need to do an Alley's Accessory Shop on Etsy's Trash Feature Review. I need something that's in 90 minutes-ish in the G, so Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence was what I chose, and I've just been rolling with it, and I've really been enjoying it. I can't say I've seen anything that I would not recommend, but this week especially are a couple of features I really think everybody should see. These two features are basically what people are paying big money for to see Vin Diesel just coast through. Kind of ironic for racing, I know, but the movies are MFKZ, which is a story, a French-Japanese collaboration about fictional GTA-like lifestyle of Southern California. Thank you, Tim Meismer, for the... Tim Bates. Getting my Tim friends mixed up, but regardless, Tim Bates, great friend of the show, Evil Penguin Games, follow him. Let me just get to the other movie, which is just a masterpiece. I mean, it could have been a little better narratively, but, I mean, it's just so beautiful. It is Redline from 2010. This is from an Animatrix director, so if that was anything you enjoyed, you're going to love this one. So hopefully you'll enjoy both of these movies that I'll talk about, or hopefully I can sell you on these movies, and we'll see you next week.
I'm Angelino. Welcome to my f***ed up city. I was born here, and I'll probably die here, too. They call this place DMC. Probably stands for desperate, miserable, corrupt. So, I got a policy. Don't ask questions, don't get involved. But then, I saw her.
Angelino, the kid is special. Promised I'd find you, kid. And I'm a man of my word.
What the f***?
Contact.
What do they want?
There's no way you two can run forever.
I'm gonna enjoy putting you down. No point fighting it. You want a fucking war? Then you'll get one!
He who lives by the sword dies by the sword.
You know, we're not selling ice cream, bro. Just go.
I have recently finished watching MFKZ, or how I like to say it, MKFZ, or as the French would prefer we say it, Mutafukas. hopefully I don't get flagged on that one. So we know where I'm coming from. This is a Japanese-French hybrid anime with themes that are definitely attuned to the glamorized Hispanic gangsta culture in the United States. It's really interesting, the animation style. You see, it definitely pulls from a lot of Japanese sources. I could see the, dare I say, Rentaro of Metropolis fame in it. And a lot of elements that you just, while still keeping elements of like American and French, European animation, it's quite an interesting hybrid, and it works pretty well with the CG backgrounds in it. So this is actually visually impressive, I think. The story is all over the place. It's about our hero, Angelino, who is, well, he was supposedly abandoned at birth. That was because his mom was running away from some kind of evil force and was murdered. But fortunately for him, some transmorphic dog was protecting him, named Taz. It's really kind of confusing, but basically it's hard for Angelino to fit in society in the city of Dark Meat City, DMC, and so you can't hold a job for more than 3 weeks. Just how it goes there, you know. Keep your head down, don't start no trouble, and hopefully no trouble will start with you. And he lives in a pretty crappy place with his friend, and I keep trying to get the name right, Vince. And he, you know, very cool guy all together. He loves the roaches that he lives with, so little Joe's apartment elements into it. So it's a crazy premise, but he's now getting tracked down by the same people who murdered his mother, and he's now realizing he kind of has superpowers. And he doesn't fit in because he's basically just an all pitch black body, which and just big white eyes. You don't really see much more to describe the guy. But once the shit goes down, his heart beats real fast, and he turns into a wrecking machine. Dare I say a monster even, because hey, it's anime. We have tentacles. So he's trying to discover himself while an evil organization is trying to embrace him and capture him, basically giving the ultimatum, have Danny Trejo kill you or join us. And in the meantime, you have luchadors, Ultimam, who are just waiting for the chance to read signs to save the world, and they're going to play a role in this. So as I say, it's a celebration of everything that the rest of the world would seem is Latin culture, at least from the Los Angeles standpoint. This is funny because I watched this last week. I did get around to my first Fast and Furious movie since The Fast and the Furious in 2001, based off How Did This Get Made podcast recapping the other movies. So I haven't, as I say, I've only seen 2 of them, and I bring that up because of the Truman Show last week, and basically Truman's being fed on nothing but soap opera bullshit, and that's why I don't think he could function outside of this world. So Lord knows, we fear for Truman, keep him safe. But if you want soap opera bullshit, it's in male, and this is what everybody thinks professional wrestling is, the male soap opera. No, the Fast movies really lay that all out, and it's fun, but gosh, this is like male Twilight. So I will get around to Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, I'm on Team Dwayne, so yeah, irregardless. Just a little side note story. As for it's so much easier if we didn't have to censor the title. MFKZ. The story is all over the place, especially for 90 minutes. I could see this being, like, I guess this is why so many animes are just series for the most part, and why the movies don't usually work There are definitely exceptions, but it just wants to do everything, and you just can't help but love how it keeps pulling itself into different art styles or stuff you would see in frames, just real outside fourth wall kind of breaking stuff. So that's kind of clever. I don't really know if the story holds up. It takes a long time to build, and then the finale involving they live type elements even is awesome, but it's like, dang, they just threw that all together. So I guess that's just something you get when anime is done on a real something real vast, like a manga is just shoved into whatever time frame. I'm sure Akira has far more to say than just that movie. So that's great. Now I got to put those mangas in my queue. Only so much time to watch movies, play video games, let alone read. So I guess this one is definitely one you can't show your kids. I want to I'd love to find somebody to rewatch it with who's definitely got more tuned with the culture. And I'm just amazed that, it's a French-Japanese production, again, doing American culture tribute. And it's, on top of that, the voice cast is loads of fun. Danny Trejo is your big heavy. Michael Chiklis is a rogue cop. Or a secret agent. They really pull out and we have Men in Black in this movie. And they'll take the time to stop and just try to hey, why don't you think about this again? Fourth wall breaking stuff. So it's a feature that really tries to do everything. And I don't know if it ever nails a single thing, but it's fun. It's just fun seeing how this is going to work out. And then, as I say, you got Danny Trejo, you got Michael Chiklis, you have Giancarlo Esposito as your big bad in the end, and you have a gangster who quotes Shakespeare played by the RZA. So I mean, there's just so many things that I think if you're a fan of any element that just mentioned, be it let's just go, I hate to just stereotype, let's just go Scarface, let's just go, Lucha Libre, French New Wave, French cinema, anime in general. This is something, and if you're just a fan of certain actors, this is something I think you should go out of your way to see. I'm not saying you're gonna like it. I liked it, but I like the experience of it. Who knows what it's gonna hold, if it'll hold up in a rewatch. But I'd say it's definitely one that everybody should try. This might be. Hold on. MKFZ might just be the Malort of anime.
From the director of Animatrix World Record and the studio that brought you Summer Wars, Ninja Scroll, and Paprika, comes one of the most exciting and visually inventive films in years, Redline! Kimura, Yu Aoi, Tadanobu Asano.
So I guess we're closing out anime with Redline, and kind of appropriate double feature, really, when you think about, I believe it was last weekend that the Fast X movie came out, and frankly, these two animes, which probably are just going to be save you a lot of time, MFKZ and Redline do everything you want the Fast and the Furious series to do, and look a hell of a lot better, especially Redline. It's a beautiful picture about, beautifully drawn. It really took me back to the Macross Plus OVA series and movie, appropriately. I think you see a lot of inspiration in that with the character details. This feature is basically, let's just say it's pod racing the movie, except we're using cars for the most part. Some cars that can transform into fighting mechs, other cars that are police cars that are actually the officer himself transforming into a vehicle. You got kaiju battles on this peripheral. It's, as I say, this is pod racing if directed by Paul Verhoeven circa Total Recall. Well, Paul Verhoeven's best works, at least in the West, I should say. I have not seen any of his Dutch stuff. So, it's as I say, it's visually stunning. And like the first and third acts are just chef's kiss. It's a race, and you are just thrown right into them, and you just really kind of wish this could hold up for the entire 90 minutes. Now, the narrative in the middle explaining who our racers are, that's where you get a lot of those satire from Verhoeven movies in that segment, and breaking down racers, personalities, establishing all the characters, giving us a reason to care about them. Now, it doesn't quite work because there's so many racers. So you just basically, if you go to the pod race from episode 1 and just realize, okay, yeah, that looks cool, that's enough. I think it would have probably worked out a little better. I think story-wise, it cut off about 20 minutes too. And then the third act is all racing. So the story is about JP and his aspirations to go from basically his manager's whipping boy, Frisbee, who's pretty much just like, look, you can keep racing, but I got to keep paying the bills to get you better cars, and we're going to have to do a bunch of race fixing to do it. So he's trying to overcome that, and he's not necessarily fixing the races, JP the driver. It's all on Frisbee. And through circumstances, he's allowed to compete in the biggest race, the Redline, which basically all the races are illegal, but some planets are a little more forgiving than others. The Robo World planet, a militarized robot society who is just looking for a reason to conquer the universe, is not pleased that they are going to just have the race at Robo World without their permission. And so you have basically an entire military, which gives it a death race feel. This does everything you want racing-wise. It's in space already, so that pretty much says, hey, sorry, Dom, you can't do anything to us. And this happened in 2010. This film was released in 2010, so this is even before Fast 5 and the soap opera that became afterwards. There's a clever enough love story. You really cheer for the two leads to get together, despite, what about the competition? And, every character is likable. I say pod racing, maybe I should say F-Zero. This is just every sci-fi, every racing movie fans' wet dream in a sense. And you do get some boobs. So, hey, fan service. So, when you bring up this feature and MFKZ, MFKZ, Mutufukas, if I can say that in my wretched French. That's at least how I'm justifying that obvious mata, I think is what they're going for, and we can figure out the rest. This is an excellent double feature, as I say. You just get... These are two must-see movies. Now, I'm not saying either is perfect. I just described how the narrative doesn't really hold up in the middle. It's just like, okay, we're just waiting for the start. Yes, this guy's cool. This guy's cool. When are we going to race again? And I had to go and do this in 2 sittings just because, 50-hour work weeks leave me in a pretty exhausted state. I mean, I know my dad did a lot of long days, but, he had his evenings, I suppose. And then we as athletic kids probably took that away from him, but I think that's what he was living for, so God bless the man. It kind of fits into my... this movie really does hit on me because of the, guy just pushing against the world type thing. And I'm kind of in that state with this podcast just because, screw-ups at work, my fault. Well, I don't think so. I think it's the computer on this one, but I couldn't really figure out my schedule, so I can't really go and start crying out and screaming, hey, this day we have to podcast. So a little frustrated there, but this one really kind of, the dreaming, nobody believing in you, and even the people who believe in you just can't afford to. So it just really gets me there. And when you even bring that up back with MFKZ, it's a similar thing about a guy just trying to find his place in the world, and it doesn't feel like anything's really working for him. So it's that's my weekend, my week, I should say, and I'm just really, these movies really got me. It's the kind of soap opera that I guess keeps people going back to the Fast and the Furious movies, except without, it's hard to really screw up acting in an anime, I think. So, but, it's going the Redline, though. I mean, I'll go back to MFKZ. That's just such a crazy movie, which, as I say, features all the non-racing stuff you want from the Fast movies. I'd say a must-see just because of how crazy it is. More of an experiment, I guess, which I appreciate more than just soap opera. Redline, as I say, is beautiful. It's not perfect, as I say, with the narrative, but it just does everything you ever wanted, and it's just one feature. So, I mean, this is just, again, another must-see. So, animation fans, I think I've given you a good month with Ghost in the Shell, 2 Innocents. Really, message about that one is get to Ghost in the Shell. I liked Marion the Witch's Flower from Studio Ponic, the successor to Studio Ghibli. I liked Earwig. As I say, it's not a great narrative to hold everything together, but I think it works great in bits. So, and I'm gonna add, as I say, Mutufukus is just just chew your popcorn and watch and get an opinion. But Redline is something I think any animation fan should see. It really harkens back to the 90s anime style that I even liked. Well, even having that look of inspired by the likes of, Space Dandy or the Samurai Champloo. This is just something, as I say, I can't give it 5 stars, or maybe I should, but if you really, this is definitely one that you should see. No argument, no qualifications. So I am really glad to have gotten around to this one finally, and I'm hoping I get a live action movie from Netflix and the DVD next. One of the rare ones, say Less Than Zero or Southland Tales, I suppose. I think that might be too easy to get, but Yeah, I think this is you take these 5 movies, you're gonna get one that you are going to love. I promise you that. And I'll just hit them up again. Ghost in the Shell, 2 Innocence, Mary and the Witch's Flower, Earwig and the Witch, MFKZ, and Redline. There's a winner in there. Hey, I'm at least batting 200% this month, so I can be proud of that. And, I really want to keep doing podcasts, so if you want to be on the show, send an email to russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. Offer me a movie, a film, a movie, a director, a theme, an actor, and just try to focus on sub 100-minute material. You give me the movie, I will find a way to make it work, even if it isn't under 100 minutes. Otherwise, rate and subscribe to 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ on your favorite podcast apps. I find Apple to be the best podcast app. Spotify's doing a lot of great stuff for the shows, though. And when I say rate, those 5-star reviews are what I'm looking for. You can be as honest as you want in the review. We're just trying to fix the numbers a little bit. Get myself to a Patreon where I can start offering $10 ad bits opportunities. I will say I got that from Doom Generation, and that's probably the only thing I got from them. It's fun, I guess, if you like just laughing at movies, but so needless to say, I'm gonna go and write a review for him. Otherwise, and this is kind of with how Redline ends, with love being the ultimate winner. Spoiler alert. It's very rock music, MTV, cartoon sushi stuff. I mean, I just dig it all. I really did start to think about my best friend, Stacia Harden, who passed away 19 years ago. How she just loved looking and talking about me. I know, ego a little bit, but she's always cheering me on, and she never really talked about herself, and we were pretty close. And I wish I kind of knew what her dreams were. So there you go. Make sure you get to know everybody you love. At least I got to really get to know Skimble Shanks, the one-eared angel, and thank you, Stacia, and thanks, Skim, for keeping an eye on me. Keep me on the straight and narrow, I hope. Ava the Queen Kitty will slap me otherwise. So just keep an eye on me and everybody else you touch in your lives. And thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast. I hope to be hearing from you soon. Follow me on Twitter at CatBusRuss. Follow me on Mastodon at RussStevens at mastodon.social. And thanks again for coming to 90 for Chill, the podcast.
Can I hear a wahoo?